Hello, Mingalaba Dhamma class. My name is Lizanjo, and my Buddhist name is Jana Bali, which means power of concentration. Today, I will be your presenter for part 1 of this Dhamma class. Today's Dhamma class is on Sunday, May 4th, 2025. We meet every Sunday at 4 o'clock p.m., Arizona and Pacific time. Anyone interested in Buddhist teachings is welcome to join us on Zoom. Use the ID 413-460-4622 and the password Buddha20, all lowercase. Remember, the Zoom ID and password will stay the same every week. In today's Dhamma class, we will learn about Part 1a, Buddha Gamanagata, Alawakagata, offerings, taking the Tisarana and precepts, the Metta chant, and meditation. Part 1b, Aditana, determination, mindfulness on death, wishing and sharing. Part 2, Parita chanting, discussions, questions and answers, translations from the prayer book, and some kids reciting Bali prayers from the book. Today's substitute will be Himiao. So Himiao, please have your prayer books and the correct pages ready and close by. Before we begin, here are some important rules and regulations. 1. If you're reading a substitution or participating in Part 1a, please try to join the Zoom meeting at least 5 minutes early. 2. Please do not eat or drink during the prayer time, as it is very disrespectful. If you're hungry, make sure to eat before joining the meeting next time. 3. Sit up straight and center yourself in front of your camera. Keep your camera on at all times, or you may be removed from the meeting. If you're not a part of the Dhamma class, you're free to turn off your camera. 4. Please don't fidget or play around, as it can disturb others who are praying. The prayer session is only 15 minutes, so please be mindful and respectful. 5. For those chanting, please chant clearly and slowly so that others can follow along. 6. We would greatly appreciate it if everyone stays respectfully until the end of the meeting. Now, please put your hands together. We'll begin with Buddha Gamanagata. We believe you'll do great.
Buddha Gamanagata Angira Sasa Unaya Tatahi Sedaram Siyo Vajirawa Virajati Trinobeta Delsi Sake Nilayo Nilatanama Pito Dada Lohita Dhamma cha Manjita Nika Mimsu Papasara Pawatan.
Izzo.
Kana sarapati tena dipena dhamma tamsina diloka dipam sampudam pujayami tamonudam vanaganda gunopetam etam kusuma santatim pujayami munindasa siripada savaruhe.
Adi wasitu no bende paniyam berta bedam anokambam upadaya patigana tuotamam. Adi wasitu no bende bojana berka bedam anokambam upadaya patigana tuotamam Valentine.
No.
Amara, it is your turn.
Ogata, 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 Kayaken, Wasiken, Menoken, Sabadoza, Kasinto, Abirogo, Biobazishin, Ajonga, Batama, Tutia, Tetia, Tijay, Najay, Donjay, Meow, Paya Irana, Daya Irana, Tanga Irana, Irana, Mia, Don Baroko, Ayo, Le Amia, Le Samuye, Shiko Buzo, Pumia, Mansho, Garoba, Shampaya, Garoya, Do, Ajo, Abeleba, Gatomba, Yebeshiba, Yedumyanga, Webatitia Leba, Piedana Dea Ngaba Roma, Akakade, Kenoni de Pierre, Maidea, Podea, Nay Bandea Domiago, Yaba Loi Champagne Valentine. Ahabete, Disaranena, Saha, Nawaga Sapanagatam, Upusatasilam, Tamaya Chami, Anakahagetwa, Sila Deta, Mebete, Tudiapi, Ahabete, Disaranena, Saha, Nawaga Sapanagatam, Upusatasilam, Tamaya Chami, Anakahagetwa, Sila Deta, Mebete, Tudiapi, Ahabete, Disaranena, Saha, Nawaga Sapanagatam, Upusatasilam, Damaya Chami, Anugahagetwa, Siladeta, Mebete, Amapete. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Buddha Sarana Gacchami, Dhamma Sarana Gacchami, Sangham Sarana Gacchami, Dutiyapim. Buddha Sarana Gacchami, Dutiyapi, Dhamma Sarana Gacchami, Dutiyapi, Sangham Sarana Gacchami, Dutiyapi, Buddha Sarana Gacchami. Tatiyapi Dhamma Sarana Gacchami, Tatiyapi Sangha Sarana Gacchami. Amabente. Anatipata Brahmani Sikapadam Samadhiyami. Adina Brahmani Sikapadam Adina Dana Brahmani Sikapadam Samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya Brahmani Sikapadam Samadhiyami. Musavata Brahmani Sikapadam Samadhiyami. Suramaraya Vajapamatana Brahmani Sikapadam Samadhiyami. Vikala Bhojana Brahmani Sikapadam Samadhiyami. Nacha Gita Vadita Visukata Sana Palaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatana Brahmani Sikapadam Samadhiyami. Uchasayana Mahasayana Brahmani Sikapadam Samadhiyami. Metta Sahagatena Chetesa Sababu Anapute Suparitwa Viharanam Samadhiyami. Amabande Valentine. Itipi So Bhagava Araham Sama Sambuddho Vichacharana Sampano Sugato Loka Vidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarati Sata Deva Manusanam Buddho Bhagava. Time.
Wakado Bhagavata Demo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Opaneiko Pachadam Weditabo Wenuhi.
Supati Beno Bhagavato Sawaka Sango Ujupati Beno Bhagavato Sawaka Sango Nyayapati Beno Bhagavato Sawaka Sango Samitipati Beno Bhagavato Sawaka Sango Yadidem Satari Parisa Yugani Atta Parisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sango Ahuneo Pahuneo Dakineo Anjali Karanio Anotaram Punya Ketem Bogasa for one time.
Sabe Sata, Sabe Bana, Sabe Buddha, Sabe Boka, Sabe Ataboa Priya.
Next.
Sabe Sata, Sabe Bana, Sabe Buddha, Sabe Bugala, Sabe Atabawa Pariyapana, Sabda Itya, Sabe Purisa, Sabe Arya, Sabe Anariya, Sabe Deva, Sabe Manusa, Sabe Vinipatika.
Aveva Bhagavati Maya Tisaya Taki Naya Tisaya Pachi Maya Tisaya Ota Maya Tisaya Bhagavati Maya Anutasaya Taki Naya Anutasaya Pachi Maya Anutasaya Ota Maya Anutasaya Heti Maya Tisaya Upari Maya Tisaya.
Sabe Sata, Sabe Bana, Sabe Buddha, Sabe Bugala, Sabe Atabawa Pariyapana. Saba Itio, Sabe Purisa, Sabe Arya, Sabe Anarya, Sabe Deva, Sabe Manusa, Sabe Nipatika, Avira Hontu, Abya Baja Hontu, Anika Hontu, Suki Atanam Pariharontu, Duka Muchantu, Yadalada Sampatito, Mawika Chantu, Kamasaka.
Udam yawa boaga cha aro yawa awi jito samanta chaka walesu ye sata parawi jara abya baja nivera cha niruka cha nupadawa Udam yawa boaga cha ado yawa awi jito samada chaka walesu ye sata udeke jara abya baja nirara cha niruga ja nupadawa Udam yawa boaga cha ado yawa awi jito samada chaka walesu ye sata akase jara abya baja niraja niluka ja nupadawa sadhu sadhu sadhu. That one time.
Now we will learn how to meditate by Chloe, Sue-Ong, Valerie, May Thun, and Sumya Pid.
What is meditation? Meditation is a way to keep the mind cool and calm by concentrating on one object. There are many ways to meditate. In our Dhamma class, primarily we study Anapanasati and body scanning meditation. In Anapanasati, a natural focus is your own breath, which is always with you. If you simply keep feeling the breath as it comes in and as it goes out, the mind gets quieter and more peaceful. In body scanning meditation, you scan your whole body from the head to toe, from the front and the back. The only trouble is something will always take your attention away. maybe a noise or a pain in the knee. But often your own mind is the problem. It is so full of useless stuff, like a monkey jumping here and there. It is so hard to control. To become the master of your mind, you need some lessons, enough time, and a good place to learn how to practice. With enough practice, meditation helps to replace bad thoughts and feelings with happy ones.
By learning how to control the mind, we start to get rid of negative habits and develop good mental qualities instead. If your mind is cool, you make good decisions, you don't get confused, you make less mistakes, you don't get angry or feel afraid, and you become more confident. If your mind is calm, you become peaceful and happy, you are less worried and frustrated, you don't get stressed about work or exams, you develop compassion and kindness, and you have more harmonious relationships. If your mind is concentrated, you get less distracted by useless things, you find it easier to focus and learn, you perform better in sports and games, you make better music and art, and you will become more trustworthy. What is different between samatha and vipassana meditation? Samatha meditation and vipassana meditation are two different types of meditation. Samatha aims at achieving deep concentration, while vipassana aims at understanding both the body and mind. In samatha meditation, the focus is solely on one object to attain deep concentration, such as by fixing the mind on a single point. In contrast, vipassana meditation involves observing various mental, physical processes as they occur. During samatha meditation, when the mind wanders, we bring it back to the chosen object. However, in vipassana meditation, when the mind wanders, we observe it without trying to control it. Only when the distraction fades, we return our focus to the primary object. These differences in focus and approach distinguish the two types of meditation. We are going to practice guided muscle relaxation meditation. Before we begin, please straighten your body, center yourself in the middle of your camera, put your hands together with the right on top of the left with your thumbs connected, and place them in your laps. Then close your eyes. Step 1. When I say a group of muscles, focus on the group of muscles you hear and feel the tenseness in them. Step 2. Mentally relax those group of muscles. Step 3. Feel those muscles completely relaxed. Let's start. Your scalp muscles, all the muscles on your head are relaxed. Your forehead and eyebrows are relaxed. Your eyes, ears, nose, lips, and chin are relaxed. Your neck and shoulders are relaxed. Your arms, forearms, wrists, hands, and fingers are relaxed. Your chest and upper back are relaxed. Your abdomen and lower back are relaxed. Your hips and thighs are relaxed. Your knees and legs are relaxed. Your ankles, feet, and toes are relaxed. Now your whole body from head to toe fully relaxed.
We are now going to move on to Anapanasati meditation. You are going to focus on your breath. When you breathe in, a puff of air touches the tip of your nose. Make yourself aware of the touch. When you breathe out, a slightly warmer puff of air touches the tip of your nose. Make yourself aware of the touch. We are going to practice counting technique with each cycle of in-breath and out-breath. You will count from 1 to 8 and do not let your mind wander. If your mind wanders out, start counting from 1 again. We'll first practice together. Breathe in. Aware of the touch. Breathe out. Aware of the touch. 1. Breathe in. Aware of the touch. Breathe out. Aware of the touch. 2. Breathe in. Aware of the touch. Breathe out. Aware of the touch. 3. Breathe in. Aware of the touch. Breathe out. Aware of the touch. 4. Breathe in. Aware of the touch. Breathe out. Aware of the touch. 5. Breathe in. Aware of the touch. Breathe out. Aware of the touch. 6. Breathe in. Aware of the touch. Breathe out. Aware of the touch. 7. Breathe in. Aware of the touch. Breathe out. Aware of the touch. 8. Now go back to 1. Start counting on your own and focus. We are now done meditating.
Dukkha pata cha nirodha, baya pata cha nibaya, soka pata cha niroga, hontu sabepi panino.
Hey, Naon, could you please substitute for William? He's absent.
Nahi werena werani samantida kuda janam awerena cha samanti isa dhammo sanantano.
Sabat babasa agaranam kusalasa upasampada sajita pariyodapanam idam buddhana sasanam.
Marana meduam
Jivitam me aduam, idame punyam, niba nasa pachayo hotu, imam punya bhagam, sabha satanam bhajema, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Bow one time.
Hello, Mangalaba Dhamma class. My name is Tazancho, and my Buddhist name is Janapali, which means power of concentration. Today, I will be your presenter for part 2 of the Dhamma class. We're now beginning part 2 of the Dhamma class, but before we begin, I want to remind you how important this class is. From today's Dhamma class, we'll learn valuable teachings and ideas, so please be mindful and respectful. Also, remember, no eating during this part of the class. Drinking water is allowed during this part of the class, though. Make sure to sit up straight and center yourself in front of your camera. Now we'll move on to Program 1, Chant of Mangala Sutta, Prayer Book, pages 23 through 27.
Yamangalam Dwadasahi Chintayim Susadewaka Sotanam Nadika Chanti Atatim Sancha Mangalam Desitam Dewa Dewena Sabba Papa Vinasanam Sabba Loka Hitataya Mangalam Dambanamahe. Ewa Mesutam Ekam Samayam Bhagava Savatiyam Vihavati Chittawane Anata Pintikasa Awame Atako Anyatawa Jiwata Api Gantaya Vatia Api Gantawana Kiwalakapan Chittawanam Upasetwa Yena Bhagava Yenu Pasakami Upasakami Dwa Bhagavatam Api Wadidwa Ekamatam Adasi Ekamata Didako Sadewata Bhagavatam Kataya Ajabasi
Mahudeva Manusacha Mangalani Ajendayam Akanka Mana Sotana Puhi Mangla Mutama Azana Cha Balana Vanita Nensa Sevana Puja Cha Puja Neanam Etta Mangla Mutama.
Hey could you please substitute for Riley on Chant of Mahamangala Sutta, verses 4 and 5?
Patirupa desawa socha pubecha kata punyata ata sama panidicha etam mangala mutamam bahu sajanja sipancha vinayoja susikito subhasita cha yawacha etam mangala mutamam.
Mata pitu upatanam puta darasa sangoho anakula chakamanta etam mangalamuttamam danancha dhammatriya cha nyataka nancha sangoho anawajanikamani Etam Mangalamuttamam.
Virati Papa Rajapanacha Sanyamo Apamadocha Damesu Edamangalamutamam.
Dija Sowa Jasata Samanananja Dasanam Kalena Damasakacha Edamangala Muddamam Daboja Brahmachariyanja Arya Sajjana Dasanam Nibbana Sajikiriyacha Edamangala Muddamam.
Buddhasa lokatamehi citam yasanakampati asokam wirajam kemam etam mangalamutamam etatisani katwana sapata maparajita sapata sotim kacanti tam tesam mangalamutamam mangalasutam nititam sadhu sadhu sadhu. Bow one time.
Tiwa Dipati Gata, Tiwa Dipati Arijo, Rati Mabati Gentima, Sanato Katiyo Dipati, Jayi Dipati Brahmano, Ata Saba Mahoratam, Puro Dipati De Jasa, Da Jasam De Jansampana, Puram Wandami Sandaram, Itena Sajawajena, Sophie me ho tu sabada, Sophie de ho tu sabada.
Now we'll move on to Program 2, Basic Buddhism, the introduction by Thazan Jo, Su Ong, and Hei Liang, Part 1 by Noel and Tiffany, Part 2 by Amy and AJ, Part 3 by Riley and Andrew, Part 4 by Hema and Hank, Part 5 by Valerie, May, Cindy, and Chloe, Part 6, Part 7, Swizzen and Linlin, an introduction for Part 2 by Hazel and Victoria, Part 2 by Shinki and Shinten, and Part 3 by Bia Bala and Gina Bala. Hello, Minglaba Dhamma class. My name is Thazancho, and my Buddhist name is Jana Bali, which means power of concentration. Today, me and my friends will be doing the introduction for part 1 of our how to hold a fun and simple Buddhist ceremony. So, Suong, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, Minglaba. My name is Sung Ang, and my Buddhist name is Chaka Pali, and I live in Wilmington, North Carolina. So, and Hannah Ang, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Hein Leong, and my Buddhist name is Sukapala, which means power of happiness. So, Dazinja, what will we be talking about today?
Today, we will be talking about how to hold a fun and simple Buddhist ceremony in Q&A form. So, Suong, could you please ask the questions?
So, Hannah Ang, what do people do before a Buddha ceremony begins?
Before the ceremony starts, people usually make special promises called precepts. These are rules that guide us to be kind and mindful.
That is correct. Now, Dazinja, how many precepts might someone take during a ceremony?
Depending on the type of ceremony, a person might take 5, 8, or 9 precepts.
That is correct. Now, Hannah Ang, why do people take precepts before doing kind acts like giving dana?
Taking precepts called sila helps clear our minds and open our hearts. This makes acts of kindness, like giving to others, even more meaningful and powerful.
That is correct, Nadazinjal. If someone already follows the 3 refuges and 5 precepts daily, do they still need to repeat them at a ceremony?
Yes, even if someone follows them every day, it's traditional to repeat the 3 refuges, Disaranat, and 5 precepts during ceremonies. It helps everyone feel united and focused.
That is correct, Nohil. What usually happens during a Buddhist ceremony?
In part 1, there are 7 typical steps in order. 1. Paying respect to the 3 refuges by reciting O Kata. 2. Words of appreciation from the monk. 3. Repeating a chant after the monk to ask for Tisarana and Sila. 4. Homage to the Buddha reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. 5. Taking Tisarana, the 3 refuges. 6. Taking Sila, the precepts. And 7. Final encouragement and blessing from the monk.
That is correct, Nadazinjal. Can you please ask your questions?
Snowy, what are precepts in a Buddhist ceremony?
Precepts are promises to be kind, careful, and do good.
That is correct. Maythun, why do people take precepts before giving dana?
Precepts help clear our minds so we can give with a happy heart.
That is correct. Snowy, do you still say the precepts even if you already follow them every day?
Yes, saying them together makes everyone feel connected.
That is correct. And last but not least, Maythun, what is the first thing people do at a Buddhist ceremony?
They show respect and pray to the 3 refuges.
That is correct. That is all, and thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, my name is Noel and my Buddhist name is Wanapala, which means power of personality. So today I'll be joined by my Dhamma friend Tiffany, so could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Tiffany. My Buddhist name is Santapali, which means peacekeeper. So, Noel, what will we be talking about today?
Today we'll be continuing talking about how to hold a fun and simple Buddhist ceremony, part 1, paying respect to the 3 refuges by reciting Okatha. So Tiffany, could you please start?
My first question is to Noel, and what is the first step in the traditional homage and prayer to the 3 refuges?
The audience begins by saying Okatha, which means excuse me, my apologies, forgive me, and I beg your pardon. Tiffany, what do participants do after saying Okatha?
They bow one time respectfully. Noel, what should participants think of while bowing?
They should think of the 3 refuges, the Buddha, the teacher, the Dhamma, his teachings, and the Sangha, the community of monks. Tiffany, why is this practice performed?
It is the traditional way to show respect and ask for guidance from the 3 refuges. Now we'll be asking questions. So my first question is to Theory-san, and what do we say first to show respect?
We say Ogata, which means excuse me.
Yes, that's correct.
My question to Emia is, what do we do after saying Okata?
We bow one time to show respect.
Yes, that is correct.
My question is to Theory-san, and who do we think of when we bow?
We think of the Dhamma, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha.
Yes, that's correct.
My last question is to Emia, and it is, why do we do this?
To show respect and ask for guidance.
Yes, that is correct, and that is all. Thank you for listening.
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Riley, and my Buddhist name is Dhammo, which means medicine of truth. And today I'm here with my dear twin brother, Andrew. So, Andrew, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Andrew. My Buddhist name is Dhamma Palash, means the power of truth. So, Riley, what are we sharing with our dear Dhamma friends today?
Today, we'll continue to talk about how to hold a fun Buddhist ceremony by paying respect to the three refuges by reciting Okata. Andrew, what is the first step in the traditional homage and prayer to the three refuges?
You mean, what does the lay person say when requesting the 5 precepts from a monk?
Yeah.
The lay person repeats after the monk, beginning with the phrase, Aham Bande Disaranena Saha. This means, Venerable Sir, I would like to request the 5 precepts along with the 3 refuges. Please bestow the precepts out of compassion.
What
Riley.
does the monk say before the lay people begin repeating the precept?
The monk instructs the assembly by saying, Yamaham Wadami Dam Wadeta, which means, repeat after me what I say.
How do the lay people respond to the monk's instruction to repeat?
They reply, Amabente, meaning, yes, Venerable Sir.
What follows this exchange?
The monk begins the formal recitation with Namo Tassa, which is the traditional homage to the Buddha, starting the ceremony. We'll now be asking questions, so my first question is to Alexander. How does a lay person request the 5 precepts?
By saying Aham Bande Disarane Nasaha, asking for the precepts of the 3 refuges.
That is correct. My second question is to Tenzin. What does the monk say to start the repetition?
Yamaham Wadami Damwid Damwadita, meaning repeat after me.
That is correct. My third question is to Alexander, and it is, how do lay people respond to the monk's cue?
They say Alma Bande, which means yes, Venerable Sir.
That is correct. My last question to Tenzin is, what begins the formal ceremony?
The monk recites Namo Tassa as homage to the Buddha.
That is correct. Thank you for listening.
Hello, Minglaba. My name is Hima, and my Buddhist name is Hemapali, which means peacekeeper. Today, I'll be joined by my brother. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Hank, and my Buddhist name is Sutapala, which means the power of knowledge. Hima, what will we be talking about today?
Today, we will continue explaining how to have a fun and simple Buddhist ceremony by going over step 4, which is paying homage to the Buddha, reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Hank, will you please start us off?
How and why do we say Namo Tassa during the ceremony?
The monk begins by chanting Namo Tassa once, and the assembly repeats it 3 times. This phrase means, homage to the Blessed One, the Perfected One, the Fully Awakened One. In ancient times, noble individuals reflected on the Buddha by reciting this phrase. Today, it remains as respected expression of reverence and auspiciousness in many places. Why do we recite Namo Tassa 3 times?
We recite it 3 times to show deep respect, and it also helps the person chanting to focus, feel calm, and find peace. Does a monk give a sila from his own practice?
Not exactly. When we say a monk gives us sila, it doesn't mean he's sharing his personal sila with us. Instead, he's guiding you through the formal process of requesting it. In fact, any knowledgeable layperson can lead this process, and if you know it yourself, you can even perform it in front of a Buddha statue. Are the words from Ogata to Namo Tassa necessary to observe Tisarana and Panchasila?
No, those specific words are not essential. They were added by ancient teachers to make the recitation more meaningful. While not strictly required, they're included as a well-intentioned tradition, harmless and meaningful, which is why they are still recited today.
Now I'll be asking some questions. Ninyi, why do we say Namo Tassa in a ceremony?
To show respect to the Buddha, it means homage to the awakened one.
That is correct. Amara, does a monk give us his own sila?
No, the monk does help us ask for it. We're the ones keeping the sila.
That is correct. Ninyi, are the words from Ogata to Namo Tassa necessary?
Not really, they're a tradition, not a rule.
That is correct. Amara, can someone other than a monk help with sila?
Yes, even a layperson who knows how can do it.
That is correct.
Thank you for listening.
Hello, Mingalaba. My name is Valerie Chow, and my Buddhist name is Dana Bali, which means the keeper of charity. I live in Palm Springs, California. Today, my dear Dhamma friends will be joining me today. So, Mason D, please introduce yourself. Hello, Mingalaba. My name is Mason D. My Buddha name is Loka Bali, which means guardian of the world. I live in Port Lavaca, Texas. So, Chloe, please introduce yourself.
Hello, Manglaba. My name is Chloe Chang, and my Buddhist name is Diti Bali, which means keeper of wisdom. I live in Chino Hills, California. So, what will we be talking about today?
We will be talking about how to hold a fun and simple Buddha ceremony. Step 5, taking Tisarana, the 3 refuges. Chloe, you can start off first.
So my first question is to Valerie Ann. What does the monk say when leading the 3 refuges?
The monk begins by saying, Buddham Saranam Gacchami. I go to the Buddha for refuge, and the assembly repeats after him.
That is correct. So my next question is to Mason D. And what does he say next?
He continues with Duriyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami. For the second time, I go to the Buddha for refuge, followed by Duriyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami. For the third time, I go to the Buddha for refuge. Each line is repeated by the assembly after him.
Yes, that is correct. So my next question is to Valerie again. And what happens after the 3 repetitions?
After completing the 3 recitations, the monk says Saranat Gamanam Paribunam, meaning the act of going for refuge is complete. The assembly unitedly responds together with Amma Bante, which means yes, venerable sir.
Yes, that is correct. So my last question is to Mason D. And why do we repeat these or not 3 times?
Just like we repeat Namo Tassa 3 times, we also say Tisarana 3 times to show deep respect. It also helps the person chanting to focus, feel calm, and find peace.
Yes, that is correct. So now we will be asking questions. So, my first question is to Dhamma Bali and who leads the 3 refuges?
The monk does.
Yes, that is correct. So Valerie, please ask your next question.
My next question is to Ding Ding. What does the monk say first?
Sauna Gachami. I go to the Buddha for refuges.
That is correct. Mason D, please ask your next question. So my next question is to hear that. So why do you repeat these are not 3 times?
So the correct answer is we do it to show respect and help the person chanting feel calm and focused. So Chloe, please ask your last question. So my last question is to Gama Bali again, and do the monks say at the end?
Saranaga manam paripunam, going for refuge is complete.
Yes, that is correct. That is all, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching and listening.
Hello Dhamma class, my name is Lizen and my Buddhist name is Wansap Bali, which means keeper of relatives. Joining me today is my dear sister Linlin. So Linlin, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello Dhamma class, my name is Lin and my Buddhist name is Monopali, which means keeper of minds. So Susan, what are we going to be talking about today?
We are going to be continuing talking about holding a fun and simple Buddhist ceremony. Step 6, taking Sila, the precepts. So Linlin, can you please start first?
What happens when someone takes the precepts?
The monk begins by reciting each precept one by one, starting with the first. Panatipada Viramani Sikabadam Samadhiyami, which means I undertake the training rule to refrain from killing or harming living beings. After the monk recites each precept, the people repeat it in turn.
Now we'll be moving on to step number 7, final encouragement and blessing from the monk. What does the monk urge the assembly to do at the end of Disarana and Sila?
The monk says, Disaranena saha pancha silam sadukam katva apamadena sampadeta, which means keep the 3 refuges and 5 precepts well and carefully. This applies to Pancha Sila, but there are slight differences for other Silas. My question to Linlin is, how does everyone respond to the monk?
Everyone replies one last time, Ama Bende, meaning yes, venerable sir. Then we bow one time.
Now I'll be moving on to the footnote Q&A. So, Emya, what happens when someone takes the precepts? The answer is the monk recites the precepts and everyone repeats them. My next question is to Xin Ling, and it is, what does the first precept say?
It says, I promise myself not to harm or kill any living beings.
That is correct. My next question is to Emya, and it is, what does the monk want people to do? The answer is the monk wants everyone to follow the 3 refuges and 5 precepts carefully. My last question is to Xin Ling, and it is, how does everyone answer the monk?
Everyone answers, Amabande, which means yes, venerable sir.
That is correct. That is all. And thank you for listening.
Hello Dhamma class, my name is Hazel and my Buddhist name is Rupa Bali, which means beauty keeper. Today, my dear Dhamma friend Victoria will be joining me today, so Victoria, please introduce yourself.
Hello to my class, my name is Victoria and my Buddhist name is Ujupali, which means honest keeper. So Hazel, what will we be talking about today?
Today we'll be talking about how to hold a fun and simple Buddhist ceremony, part 2. So Victoria, please start.
Before I start, everyone please listen carefully because we will be asking footnote questions at the end. Hazel, what happens after part 1 of the ceremony with 7 steps?
The ceremony continues with the second part that includes a few more special steps.
That is correct. Hazel, what usually happens during the second part of the ceremony?
In part 2, there are 3 typical steps in order. 1. The monks chant special protective verses called Parita Sutta and give a short talk. 2. The donors pour water to share the merit. This is called Dekinodaka. 3. Everyone joins in Patanumodana. That means being happy for others' good deeds. We will now be explaining step 1. The monks chant special protective verses called Parita Sutta and give a short talk. Victoria, why do the monks chant Parita Sutta and who gives their sermon?
The monks usually chant the Metta Sutta and Mangala Sutta. These are special Buddhist chants that bring protection and blessings. After the Parita chant, people may also offer some donations to the monks. There may be small differences depending on the monk's instructions. After that, one of the monks who can explain well give a short sermon called Dhamma talk to the people listening.
That is correct. I will now be asking footnote questions. My first question is for Mate, and it is, what happens after part 1 of the ceremony?
There a second part with few more special steps.
That is correct. The question is for Maylin, and it is, what do the monks do in the second part?
They chant blessings and give a short talk.
That is correct. My next question is for Mate, and it is, what do the donors do after chanting?
Sadhu. Wait, can you say that again?
What do the donors do after the chanting?
They pour water to share merchants. This is called Yezicha.
That is correct. My last question is for Maylin, and it is, what does everyone say to share joy?
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
That is correct. That is all. Thank you for listening.
Shinki and Shinta, it is your turn.
Hello, Dhamma class. My name is Shinta. My Buddhist name is Mokapali, which means freedom keeper. So today, my dear friends Shinki and Kishin will be joining me, so please introduce yourself.
Hello, Mingalawa. My name is Shinki. My Buddhist name is Ekapala, which means the power of energy, and I live in Colorado. So, Kishin, will you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Mingalawa. My name is Kishin, and my Buddhist name is Jotapalat, which means the power of light. So, Shinda, what will we be talking about today?
We will continue talking about how to hold a promise of the ceremony. So we will be talking about step 2, which is the donors pour water to share the merit, which is called Dakina Dakat. So Shinki, can you start?
Shinta, what happens after the monks give their sermon?
After the sermon, the donors do something called Dakina Dakat. In Burmese, we call this Yizajat. This step has 2 parts, Bhatana and Bhatidana. Usually a monk reads these 2 parts and everyone repeats after him.
That is correct. So, Shinta, what is Badana?
Bhatana means making a wish or appreciation. After doing something good, people often make a wish like Idame Bunyan Nibbana Sa Pachayo Hotu, which means may this merit of mine help me reach enlightenment or Nibbana. Wishing for Nibbana can also help other people's wishes come true.
That is correct. So, Shinta, what is Badidana?
Bhatidana means sharing your good deeds or merit with others. For example, if you give food to monks or someone, that creates good Dhamma. You can share that merit by saying Imam Punya Bhagam Sabha Sadhanam Bhajrama. This means I share the merit I gained with all beings.
That is correct. So, Shinta, what is Yezecha and what do the donors do?
While doing Bhatana and Bhatidana, the donors repeat after the leading monk and pour water into a small bowl. This is called Daki no Daka or Yizet Cha in Burmese. Yizet means drops of water and Cha means to pour. It's a special Buddhist libation to show that they are sharing their merit with others.
That is correct.
So, Kishin, can you please read the footnote questions?
Okay. Dari-san, what happens after the monks give their ceremony?
Could you repeat that again?
Dari-san, what happens after the monks give their ceremony?
After the sermon, the donors do something called
Dakinodaka. In Burmese, we call it Yazacha. This step has two parts, Patana and Patidana. Usually a monk leads.
That is close, but the correct answer is the donors pour water and say special words to share their merit. So Benji, what is Badana?
It means making a wish after doing something good.
That is correct. So dearie son, what is Badidana?
Patana means making a wish or aspiration. After doing
That is close, but the correct answer is it means sharing your good deeds with others. So Benji, what is Yezeja?
It's a water offering that shows you're sharing your merit.
That is correct. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Pia, Bala, and Gina, Bala, are you okay to go?
Hi, Dhamma class. My name is Kan Hong, and my Buddhist name is Biapla, which means power of love. Today, I'll be sharing something to the Dhamma class with my dear brother Gina Block. So, Gina Block, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Ryan Hong, and my Buddha's name is Gina Bala, which means power of winning. So, Bala, what will we be doing today?
Today, we'll be continuing how to hold a fun and simple Buddhist ceremony, part 2, step number 3. Everyone joins in Padanumodana. That means being happy for others' good deeds.
Hey, everybody, please listen because we will be asking questions. Bala, what does Padanumodana mean?
Padanumodana means being happy when someone else does something good, especially when the donors say, I share the merit I gain with all beings.
That is correct. So, Bala, can you please ask the next question?
Gina Blah, what do we do when the donors say, I share the merit I gain with all beings?
We say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu to show we are happy for their good deed. By doing this, we also share in their merit.
That is correct. So, Gina Block, could I please ask the last question?
Bala, what does sadhu mean?
Sadhu means well done, good, excellent. It shows we're happy and thankful for their kindness.
That is correct. So, Bala, can you please ask the next question?
Olente, what does Padanumodana mean?
It means being happy when someone else does something good.
That's correct. So, Gina Block, could you please ask your question?
June, what do we do when someone shares merit?
We say sadhu, sadhu.
That is correct. So, Bala, can you please ask the next question?
Olente, what does sadhu mean?
Sadhu means to show we are happy and thankful for their kindness.
That is wrong. It means well done or good job. So, Gina Block, please ask the last question.
June, why do we say sadhu? Well, the answer is to show we're happy and thankful for their kindness. That is all. Thank you for listening.
We will now be moving on to Program 3, Answer the Questions by the Zancho. Everyone, please have the correct PDF open and ready by your side. I will be asking the individuals Shinlang, Mei Lin, Ma Thing, Thing Thing, June, and Imya. So, Shinlang, how many virtues of the Dhamma are there?
6 virtues of the Dhamma.
That is correct. Can you list them all?
Yes. Number 1, swagato. Number 2, sanditiko. Number 3, akaliko. Number 4, ahipasiko. Number 5, opanayiko. Number 6. Pachatam Vuti Tabo Vinyuhi.
That is correct. Thank you. Maylin, how do you chant metta meditation on yourself?
Aham Avevo Homi Abhya Bajo Homi Aneko Homi Sukhiyatanam Pariharami.
That is correct. Thank you. Mathing, how do you chant metta meditation on your parents?
Mama Mata Pitu Awer Rahodu Abhya Baja Hodu Adika Hodu Sukhiyatanam Pariharami.
That is correct. Thank you. Thing Thing, how do you chant metta meditation on your relatives and friends? I'll come back to you in a moment. June, how do you chant metta meditation on your Dhamma class? Imya, what is Buddhism? Please answer in Pali and English. That is all, and thank you for listening. We will now be moving on to Program 4, Buddha Sasanam Chiram Tita 2 by Dazancha. We are now nearing the end of our Dhamma class, so please mute your microphones and chant along with me. Buddha Sasanam Chiram Tita 2. May the Buddha's teachings last long. Buddha Sasanam Chiram Tita 2. May the Buddha's teachings last long. Buddha Sasanam Chiram Tita 2. May the Buddha's teachings last long. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That is all, and thank you for watching today.